Hey everybody, it's your favorite bastard here. Keeping it simple today. We're just going to be doing a bacon burger. And we got a pre-frozen burger patty. I of course thought, don't be a dork, thaw your meat. And I got some really nice thick cut bacon. I've already seasoned the burger patty here, both sides. We got some garlic powder, pinch of salt, a little pepper, and some Mrs. Dash. I'm a big fan of Mrs. Dash. So we're going to first cook our bacon and then the burger. Okay, we got our pan hot and oiled. Yes, bacon has got a lot of oil and grease in it on its own, but I still like to throw some oil in there, just as insurance. Now, hopefully, you already know how to cook bacon, but hey, if not, this is the video for you. Put that bacon on. And depending on how hot your pan is, how thick your bacon is, and how well you want your bacon done, depends on how long you're going to leave it on there. So, kind of like my bacon to be a happy medium, not crispy, crunchy, but not underdone and chewy. Okay, I just flipped them, and as you can see, we got nice crispy dark edges, but again, the center is not burnt. This is kind of how I like that. Okay, we went ahead and pulled our bacon, and we moved it to some paper towel to get some of that extra oil and grease off of it. And I just wanted to give an idea of how I like my bacon. You can kind of see the edges are a little dark and crispy. The center, though, is perfectly cooked. So it's not burnt, but it's not going to be too chewy either. I think it's just going to be just right. Okay, so we got our leftover bacon grease. We're not going to get rid of just all of this, though. So I balled up some paper towel. This is going to pick up a lot of it, but not all of it. It's going to leave some behind. It's also going to get rid of some of the bigger chunks of the leftover bacon you see in there. So now we're left with a pan that still has some oil and some grease in it, but not a disgusting amount. You want to be careful, because pork fat and meth are some of the worst things you can put in your body. Okay, we're ready to rock and roll with our burger here. I went ahead and tried to flatten out just a little bit more. I like a kind of a smaller, flatter burger sometimes, not so thick and chunky. I also made a little divot in the center that helps prevent shrinkage. It's not a guarantee, but it helps. So, in it goes. Not the most graceful entry, but it works. Alright, our burger patty's in. It's cooking. Best advice, leave it alone. Let it do its own thing. You see, some people will take a spatula or whatever utensil and just smush it down. Smush it down. That's a thing if, for whatever reason, it's not making contact with the heating element. It's not really a problem I encounter. If you're doing that all the time or pressing hard, you're actually squeezing the fat out of the burger. You're going to end up with a dry and chewy burger if you do that. So again, just leave it alone. If it's behaving normally, if it's doing its thing, just don't touch it. Just flip it when it's ready. Alright, just like when you get in a cold pool, you're going to have some shrinkage. That's natural. Just plan for it, do what I did, smush it out, make it a little wider, make that little divot. That might help you out, no guarantee. So now at this point I'm ready to flip this guy so I can see the other side, make sure that's cooking all right. Now, got the spatula here. I could also just do a flip if I feel like showing off, which I do. There we go. So our burger is looking pretty good. I got no complaints here. So I'm just kind of give it a little swirl there just to make sure it's picking up some of that grease and oil as it goes. Give it a little bit of that bacon flavor. So, just another minute or two on this side, and I think we're ready to pull it. Okay, now Mr. Burger is ready to meet our friend, Mr. Paper Towel. Just like with the bacon, we put it on the paper towel so it can get some of that extra grease and extra oil so it's not all going in our bodies and giving us cholesterol. Alright, now we're ready to start assembling things. So, not going to be using a burger patty. I almost never have burger patties around here. I just use bread. So, that'll be good enough. I like to use Dave's Killer Bread, especially his white bread. It's a little more expensive, but you know what? I think it's worth it. So, just wanted to display that for you. So now we're going to go ahead, and hopefully you did your homework before watching this video and you already know how to cut up an onion. In case you didn't, I guess I'll show you how to do that now. So of course you want to get that ugly skin off of it. And then you're going to cut it right down the prime meridian, so to speak. Think of it as a globe. You have your prime meridian, you have your equator. We're going to cut it down the prime meridian. We're going to make sure to split the hairy bit right in half. Alright, so what that does is that prevents the onion from losing its moisture. I can't remember the name of that chemical or compound in it that makes you cry when you cut onions. Leave this guy intact, or mostly intact, and again, you'll retain that moisture and you won't be crying as much. So, cut off that bit. And we're just gonna make some really nice slivers here. Some nice thin onion. If you want thick onion, cut it thicker, of course. Alright, and that's going to do it for me. Now the other great part is if you leave this guy intact, it's going to preserve better in your refrigerator, because we got a lot of leftover onion now. Alright, we're actually getting to assembling it now. So we got our meat. Gonna go ahead and add our onions now. Gonna use most of these guys. I like it nice and scattered. If you want big thick onions or a whole gosh darn section of onion on there, go for it. Now we're going to add some bread and butter pickle slices. Don't usually buy the fancy organic stuff. Decided I felt like doing it. Doesn't hurt to get out of your comfort zone and experiment sometimes, especially with food. Worst case scenario, you waste $1 or $2 and you learn a lesson. Alright, now this part is ready to go. Now we're going to add our condiments. Hunt's Best Ever Tomato Ketchup, thicker and richer. I used to be a Heinz man until I tried this stuff. The label is not lying. It's really, really good ketchup for what you pay. So I don't want this thing just spilling ketchup all over, so just a moderate amount. And I really like this Trader Joe's organic mustard. If you don't have to buy it, use whatever mustard you have laying around, but this is what I like. And again, don't want to make a mess of everything. There you have it. Bacon burger. Rock and roll.